Hi, y'all, and happy Wednesday to our little cup of happiness. It is, wow, I can't believe it's already here. We're halfway through the week. Hi, I'm Coach Marcella here, just taking time to share a little motivation, inspiration, tips, or tidbits for today. And thank you for those who have been joining us these past couple of weeks. We kicked off our 2022 Little Cup of Happiness Wednesdays, and we want to thank those who have been to our webinars. We hosted a free webinar that you can find on some of our social links here if you'd like to join part of that for an upcoming one. Classes and webinars we'll be having. But anywho, today's all about a little cup of happiness, and I hope you brought your water, your drink, whatever you want to. Today I switched up my little cup of happiness. For some of you who are just joining us today, once again, I am Coach Marcella, and we are here to share motivation, inspiration, tips, and tidbits, not only to personally develop you, but professionally as well. Some of these fun tips come with props. If you know me, I'm a coach and teacher at heart, so I love props and humor and engaging type of activities. So we won't take long today. Sometimes I drop in here for 5 to 10 minutes and usually try to be wrapped up sometimes in 15 if we're doing some great stuff. So I hope you're having an amazing day. In fact, I want you to tell yourself, I'm having an amazing day, right? Take a deep breath. Take a sip of your little cup of happiness, because each and every one of us enjoy and deserve a little cup of happiness. Ron says, embracing the chaos. Wow. I think we all can relate to that. So let's take a deep breath. Let's take a little cup of happiness and remind ourselves we deserve happiness, joy, fulfillment, and a little hydration. So today's topic is going to be fun. It's talking about when words have power. And when I say words have power, that can be in your department you're in, the division you're running, your own company you're just starting, or even the company or business that you've had going for a couple of years and now you're getting ready to make that shift or post. So we're going to talk about the power of words from a negative aspect to a positive aspect. So I believe in positive leadership coaching. I've been very privileged in my life to run a multiple site program for children and recreation and sports. I did that for over 25 years. So when I say I've been there and done that and have experienced multiple aspects of negativity and motivation, not only within your company or department or your association, also within your internal organization, which is your family. So today we're going to do a little fun prop. So I hope today is Wednesday. Thank you guys for joining. Your thumbs up. I know some of you come and replay this later. That's cool, as long as you spread your little cup of happiness. Hopefully something today that I share or do a little transformation for you, or you can reflect on and it makes a little nugget of change, then I am very fulfilled. So today we're going to talk about when someone approaches you or says something in your organization, your department, your family, your spouse, your best friend, and they've told you something and it either hurt your feelings or it kind of took you back, or you felt a little like they didn't understand you, or why were they being so direct or so mean. So we're going to go through a 3-question tactic, not just that you can use in your business or in your life. And one of those is to take a deep breath. When someone states or says something that kind of rocks you off your boat or kind of hurts you right here, part of the journey of life is going through those most high points of love and pleasure and joy and fulfillment, which is why I believe and we all should have a little cup of happiness. But in life, we have a lot of chaos too. And it's just about how to have that less stressed, impactful moment that can move you through some of these situations. So I know some of you just pop in to listen. So if you have a pen and pencil, or you can remember this right after our little broadcast today, we're going to talk about the question number 1 is, why am I upset or hurt, or this is affecting me, right? Take a second to think about that. It only takes you like 5 seconds. So determine that first. Let's say someone goes, let's say you were coming in late for your shift, and one of your managers makes a comment or states that, hey, oh, you're late again, or hey, talks to you really directly, or the tone's really out of whack, and you just personally, it hits you right here. So make sure you take a deep breath. Try not to be reactive at the moment, and then ask yourself, right? I have these written down because, like I said, I'm a teacher at heart. Why am I upset? Why is this affecting me? And why am I hurt? And you're going to make sure you put in your mental note, take a deep breath. And then another question you're going to ask yourself was I truly listening? We're so chaotic in our lives right now, especially with all the changing and adapting we've had to do in the last couple of years. So were you truly listening? And be honest and authentic with yourself, right? Because a lot of times, even with our partners, our families, our kids, our work colleagues, our bosses, the people we're in control of, like my team, when I would communicate, sometimes they perceived it in a different way, and I didn't know that they weren't really truly listening because I didn't really have their attention, or vice versa. So the second question you're going to remind yourself is, was I truly listening? Because this will help you determine why you were so upset or how it affects you. Maybe it just made you angry. These are all human emotions, and you don't need to ignore those. You just need to know where they're coming from. And really, sometimes they're not as important as you think when that person or colleague or boss or family member says something to you. And then the third question you're going to ask yourself is, how am I going to choose to handle this? And then you're going to do A, B, and C. And guess what? I'm not going to fill those A, B, and C's out for you right now. So how am I going to choose to handle this? Am I going to take a deep breath? Am I going to wait Coach Marcella's 24-hour rule, which is basically in 24 hours, you will come back and approach that situation, which means, am I too angry? Am I going to be reactive? Am I going to say something that I probably regret and that's really out of context, because that's my emotion speaking? And a lot of times when you do I call it the Coach M 24-hour rule, they should tell my team over and over. A lot of times at that moment, it's really not as powerful and important and 24 hours later, because maybe you were in a different mood. Maybe you were rushing. Your morning was a little crazy. The kids, lost their knapsack and you couldn't get them there. Or you couldn't find your shoes you needed for your meeting or your proposal, or you're trying to lock everyone out of your home hybrid remote work office and you can't get the door to shut and all the noise is going on. Do you see what I'm saying? It can be a little chaos and chaotic. So don't worry. So taking a deep breath. Number B, I would put 24-hour rule. And number 3, taking that, I learned this from Dean Graciosi and Tony Robbins and some of the trainings, is sometimes you have to take a little uncomfortable action and just basically approach that person when you're calm, right? When you've taken your deep breaths and you've evaluated, am I still really that hurt? Did it really have a big impact on my day? Is it really that important? 24 hours later, then you move forward on that exploration of trying to figure out and explaining why that upset you, or you didn't understand what they were saying, or hey, listen, could we reapproach that? You seem to be upset at me and I'd like to take 5 minutes to talk about it, right? Most people don't want to have a long conversation, especially if you're in a work or a business environment that could be remotely Zoom, it could be within your family. You kind of want to come with it quickly, respectfully, and a calm tone, and make sure you have your listening ears on, right? So remember, when you're going into your conversations, I'm going to give you another tip, is bring your good vibes, right? Good vibes is Coach Marcella's prop today, right? Hopefully I brought a little smile to your face. You're like, oh, this is serious stuff. I'm talking about people telling me and critiquing me. It's really not. Just remember in your brain, before you go into this process of why, right? I'm looking at my number 1, why am I upset or hurt? Was I truly listening? And then how I choose to handle the situation. And am I going to use my 24-hour rule? Am I going to bring my good vibes to the conversation and be open, respectful, and honest, and make sure we're listening on both parts? So don't forget your good vibes when you're having your conversations. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm Coach Marcella. I always want to make sure, a lot of times when you're getting ready to maybe have that conversation, I'm going to give you one more tip for the day. You cannot be angry and grateful at the same time. And I've learned this through different trainings, and some of you maybe been to various ones as well. But it's hard to be like angry and grateful. So a lot of times I also have different journals I use. And this one, I don't know if you can say, hey, it says hello to happy. So if I'm getting ready to have a difficult conversation, maybe even, I know it sounds crazy, where I'm going to have to release a team member. And, you know, basically some people call that termination or releasing you of your duties. I like to call it that they're going to find another path, and I'm holding them back because us and the company are not the right relationship with each other. But before I do that, sometimes I make sure I have some mental good vibes on, right? And then I also make sure I have some positive vibes, maybe something that I put in my hello to happy. Because at the end of the day, I want my organization and my team to be happy. I want my family and those who work with me and do social things around me, I want them to be happy. So a lot of times I have to fuel that. So it's okay. You don't have to tell anybody if you're writing little positive notes. It's just between us. But I'm telling you, over years of experience working with multiple teams, training teams, taking over teams that were dysfunctional, didn't like each other, had been through some bumpy issues together or challenges, that a lot of times some of these techniques really work. So until we meet, what is it, Wednesdays? Yes, today, my apologies. We are having a little tech Wi-Fi issue today, but we will see you on Wednesdays at 12:30. Make sure to bring your little hydration. I like to share a little cup of happiness, because remember, each and every one of us enjoy a little inspiration, a little laughter, a lot of love, a little motivation, and hopefully, if we fuel ourselves, right? Let's fuel it. We can impact others around us. So until I see you next week, feel free to come jump back on anytime and hit some of our replays. Also, we're putting up more additional resources here on our page. We'd love to have you here. Thank you. Share your video out. I'm Coach Marcella. And like I like to say, until I see you next time, share your little cup of happiness. Bye, y'all.